Welcome back, Miles.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been
Exactly a week.
Probably a little over a week, technically, because we're recording a little bit later in the day than we usually do.
Okay.
But, nevertheless, we're back for episode 67, 2 episodes away.
The final episode. Just kidding.
Miles is pretty tired because we just watched an interesting movie for this week's episode. We watched a movie called Knick-Knack.
Knock Knock.
Knack-Knack.
Knock Knock.
And
starring Keanu Reeves,
Ana de Armas, what's her name?
Lorenzo
Von Matterhorn. Yep.
Knock Knock, motherfucker. Lorenza
Izzo, thank you. Tom Izzo, yep.
as well as Ignacia Elamand as the Karen.
Mm-hmm.
As the Karen of the movie. And Aaron Burns as Louise.
Yeah.
There wasn't too many other characters besides those.
Mm-hmm. I guess it was the kids, but like they didn't really have much of a role. There was the beginning and the end.
That's all.
Mm-hmm. Monsters.
He was the monster.
He was the monster, yeah. I'm Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. So
what did you think of it?
What did I think of the movie? I thought it was... I don't even know, man. Like, I think it was the acting that was, like, weird about it, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, like...
You might be able to describe it better.
We even said that in the beginning, like, from the offset. Like, not even, like, when they were in, like, the situation that became most of the movie, but, like, even beforehand, setting it all up with, like, the kids and whatnot, and, like...
Yeah, that was all cringy.
Like, they're in particular, the scene where they're outside, or not outside, but they're looking at that sculpture of hers, and then, like, I think Keanu comes out, or whatever, and they're talking about the sculpture or something. Louise talks about it at one point, and it's, like... The pacing was a little bit weird, and the acting, too, is just a little off, I think. Not like it was, like, bad or anything necessarily, but it wasn't, I don't know. It just was, it was weird, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just the pacing of the way they delivered lines or whatever, I don't know. And I think you had mentioned, too, that it was also a little bit cringy at times. Like, him being, like, a dad.
His dad cringe.
Yeah, which, you know, I mean... I don't know. I guess it'd be like that, and I guess I don't know, but like,
yeah.
I agree. It was very cringy at times. What did you think of the? Because I think, what did you say when he was delivering that like final like big speech to them at the end?
It was
and
like,
he was
that
like,
was too much.
You guys came on to me, and he's like going through that whole spiel.
It was like what?
Because it was kind of like his climax to the whole situation, his boiling underneath the surface, and just finally.
I don't think it was to his character. I think is what it was. His character did not seem like it would do that. He would do that.
Right. Like, I don't know. I didn't really get much of a read on his character, to be honest. It was kind of difficult at times.
Yeah,
'cause it's like
but it seemed like he was more quieter.
More kind of reserved. Perhaps even a little shy, or at times, or kind of introverted.
You could tell in the conversation between in the beginning when they first entered his house, he was like pretty standoffish almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much tentative about all that.
I mean, it could be the fact that he was nervous, but that kind of
Well, and even the way he was like excited to talk about being a DJ, or excited to get back to doing that a little bit and kind of showing that off a little. I mean, yeah, he could probably and he's an architect. So, I mean, he could be, very well just kind of like his, he seems to just enjoy his quiet life with his family, right? And then, they kind of mess things up for him a little bit.
Yeah.
But, What did you think of the girls acting like Ana de Armas and, what was it, Lorenza Izzo?
Yeah. Yeah. It was okay, I guess. I don't know.
Because they're like the antagonists, so I don't know.
It was fine. I don't know if there's anything to write home about, with it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. That seems to be the case.
No one really, to me, stands out. Not even Keanu, personally.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to know what like his preparation was for all that, because it's like and like taking the role too, because it definitely doesn't, considering like his other characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's mainly a lot more action between like John Wick and like The Matrix or, what have you. But I don't know. I'm trying to think what else.
It's not. I'll say this. It's not like an original plot. It's
No.
I mean, maybe like the part where they're talking about how they're like pedophiles. I think that's kind of like not a very common thing in movies.
Yeah.
But I think the plot is not totally crazy.
Like or like over the top original.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I guess like in terms of like storytelling, like devices and like how they executed it technically, like what did you think of all that? Was there anything that stood out to you, like shot wise, or like the way they shot something, or I don't know, how it was directed, how it all played out? Is there anything?
No.
For me either.
Nothing
I couldn't
special.
I couldn't really think of much either.
And that's kind of like a sad thing, like when you can't tell whose work it is by their shots because they don't stand out enough,
Yeah.
And that's something you want to kind of,
as a director, you want to bring
have a signature
to where because it's how you tell the story, and you definitely want that to show.
And it was Eli Roth, right?
Yes.
And he's an actor as well, I believe, right?
I think yes.
He's a director. Okay, I thought he was. I was thinking of someone else. He's also done some things we would know: Inglourious Bastards, The House with a Cock in Its Walls. Not much else that really stands out to me.
He did Knock Knock.
Knock Knock, yeah, of course. But a lot of horror movies is more of what he does.
Last Exorcism, Hostel.
Yeah, a lot more horror movies than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's like it's a good thing to bring up, I guess. I mean, it's not totally related, but like, how do you feel about non-horror directors doing horror movies, I guess?
Non-horror directors doing horror. I mean...
So, like, they're very, genre directors. So, like,
right.
The romantic comedy director who typically does romantic comedies does a horror movie.
Yeah.
I would say, I guess, what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff you can get into with that. I mean, it's cool if they want to push themselves out of that. That you don't. Yeah, it's always a difficult thing when you get typecast as like a particular thing, and it's okay if you're good at that.
Yeah.
But and to want to branch out to do something new. Maybe those first couple of projects might be a little bit rough, but I don't know. All the power to you.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on how it turns out. You know what I mean? Like if you want it to be a certain way. You want to hold on this certain moment so that they feel a certain type of way. You build suspense or whatever. For horror specifically, anyway.
Yeah.
There's certain techniques you'll want to use too, just to sort of, again, build up suspense or subvert expectations. The way you can like introduce jump scares or even like we talked about with a lot of the time with just the sound design, even with like Hereditary or something like that, like where that really helps to create the scene. So like it's good to know what you're looking for or like what you want with it. And sometimes you might not always know that, not being a horror director, or someone who's had experience directing horror.
Yeah.
I'd like to think you can be kind of jack of all trades and do all these different things, but sometimes people do just find niche areas of expertise in terms of just directing even. And that's like the thing too about like movies too, is like it works best if it's like collaboration between a bunch of different people who are great at their field. You know what I mean? So like, it's really nice if the sound designer knows what they're doing and can provide ideas for, hey, this would work better if we did this. And then same thing with cinematographers and directors too. Like, you know, hey, I really like this shot. We should set it up more like this to try and, you know, make this look a little more visually interesting. And then the director can be like, oh yeah, I like that. Good idea. Let's try it.
Yeah.
You know, and like you guys can collaborate on that too. So when the director doesn't really have experience with horror, it can be a little bit difficult because you want to really have, you know, again, like we just mentioned, like the director's really going to have a lot of voice and shape. Like they're going to shape a lot of what the story is. So like they should know, or they'll want to know how to craft it in a way to make it horror. You know what I mean? Really sell that suspense or whatever, you know, you're trying to do. So I can talk all day, I'm sure. But
no, yeah, it was just
what were you gonna say? Because I know you said you probably have your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Well, this actually came from, I was watching a video about, I've mentioned them before on the podcast, Good Bad Flicks.
Yeah.
They explored, which is when they do like they have like an exploring series, which they just essentially discuss and talk about the making of the movie, you know, everything that went into it. It's really interesting, actually. But they did a movie I've never seen yet. I haven't seen it. It's called Species. It's about like an alien who's trying to blend in, kind of. But essentially, it's like they had an action. The writers were horror film writers. They were trying to write. Their original script was like a hard sci-fi, so it was going to be, you know, a lot more scarier, I would say, a lot more intense. But then when the director came on, the studio hired like an action movie director, and so the movie kind of changed into more of like an action movie, like a soft sci-fi movie, which you know, everyone, you know, you kind of wonder what the hard sci-fi movie would have looked like if they had made Species. Of course, I haven't seen it, but
right.
That got me thinking. You know, just, you know, could people have bring their ideas, I guess, into something, their preconceived notions, kind of, almost into something, and not turn it into something that's good, hopefully, at least.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say like an action movie director comes in to like a horror movie with their ideas, and they turn it into something new. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
No, it's like there's definitely trying to think.
There could be good and bad things from it, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. Trying to think of like examples of where that's happened, like because I'm sure it happens all the time, and it definitely has. Like, just trying to think about because we can always tell certain like things that a director, just a director, for example, will bring to the story that, you know, is signature to their movies, you know. J.J. Abrams and lens flares, you know, things like that. Like, that's just the first one I thought of off the top of my head, but like, you know, things like that where it's going to be signature stuff to them, and it's like, you can definitely see how that changes the scope of the movie a little bit, or just the production in general overall, because it's like, and maybe that's a wanted change, maybe it's not, I don't know. It's like when you're looking at I almost said Knives Out, when you're looking at Knock Knock, there we go. Better watch out. When you're looking at like Knock Knock, for example, and how, you know, it's more of, because it looks like he, you know, Eli Roth's directed a lot of horror stuff, and maybe it was more like,
and this, it's more like a thriller.
This is more of a thriller, and even maybe some, you know, because there's the whole stuff about, you know, they have like the game show about pedophiles and stuff like that too. Maybe they're trying to, maybe, I don't know what you think of it, but like maybe he was trying to push something with that too, a little talk, a little, because
you've mentioned it before, how like as a director or a writer, you know, you're putting your own ideas into it, and you're showing
how you think,
or like what, and your opinion, kind of.
Because it's like, because there's, well, it's like, it's interesting because like, because a lot of it's writing, like the writers like for the script, but definitely at the same time, the director is the one who's bringing that to the screen. So like they definitely have a say in the voice in it, and a lot of time, especially if it's like the director who actually ended up writing it, which I don't know if
And
did
that's
Eli.
I think he did, but I was just about to mention, like, there's something really interesting about, like, if you think about it, you know, like, okay, so, like, you look at something, let's say you look at, like, you know, like, this giant dice I have. You may see something different than I do, like,
right?
Color-wise. I'm right now, I guess I'm speaking color-wise, but when it comes to, like, making movies, you know, everyone looks at something differently, and so, you know, when you're writing. Because I can sometimes get, like, vibes from movies or vibes from people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get different vibes from people. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, not wondering, I guess, but bringing up the idea that everyone kind of has obviously a different mind.
Yeah, everyone's different.
So, like, if you think about it, you know, it's just people come in to a movie. Everyone on the set has a different, you know, mind, and it's just weird. I don't know what I'm even trying. I know what I'm trying to say. That, like,
well, it's like even looking at Prospect last week, and we talked about all the different minds they had on that set. And I like how different the movie turned out than it probably could have been if it was typical film, you know, movie makers or whatever. You know, the typical, like, sound guys and lighting or whatever. And instead, if they bring in, like, all those kinds of people with those different kind of mindsets, and just, like, the visuals even just alone, and just, like, how the sets were designed. Like, you know. It can change everything so much, like, and I like what you said too about films having a very particular vibe, because it's like, it's one of those things that's very difficult to put into words.
It's kind of like not mentioned enough, almost. I would say
it's a subtle thing. Not important. It's a very subtle thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, but at the same time, nuances like that are so important too. It's like just looking at cinematography and, like, just how much, like, a difference in angle can change a shot versus like, you know, how like a subtle lighting difference, like, is there, you know, just putting diffusion up like a silk in front of a light, or taking it down, just how little differences, but they can have such
can change everything.
Big nuances that just affect you in just, like, a subtle way, but, like, an important way. It's still a big way, you know. And so it's like, if you look at the same thing with the movies and just, like, how they make you feel overall, like, just the vibe of it all, you know. It's like, I mean, I don't know. You can think of all kinds of specifics, you know, different movies that make you feel different.
It sounds like I'm doing like I'm high or something.
Right.
It's just the idea. Yeah, it's like everyone has a different mindset going into it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
Most likely. Everyone has a different, you know, all the writers, all the directors, everyone comes together and is able to make something cohesive. I just find that it's very fascinating to me. I don't know. It sounds stupid.
It's cool. It's cool. It's like, it's cool seeing, like, that collaboration too, because it's like they see enough eye to eye.
Like they're on the same wavelength.
They know exactly, like, what they're looking for, and it's like it just gels.
Everyone is able to, you know, see the same wavelength. It's really,
and it's cool because they're all going to be on, like, different, like, they're all in different fields of the work, but, like,
age, gender, everything.
And it's all, but they understand enough to know what's necessary for the project.
Yeah,
and that's when the best things happen. You know, and it's like, and it's difficult too, because it's like the script has to be good enough too, just off the bat. I feel like in order for it to really get to where all those creatives can work together and see absolutely eye to eye on everything that needs to happen with the page and turning it into a shot.
Yeah. And we're two white men from Michigan.
Indeed. Very very diverse set of values here.
Yeah.
No. And that is, I will say though, that is kind of cool. What's cool about our field is it does get me talking more and asking more questions of different people. Like, even just working at O'Reilly's too, like, talking to, like, different people from a couple different walks of life. I mean, a lot of it's going to be similar customer base, because, I mean, they're all from, you know, being out here in specifically the town that I'm into, just like, because it's more like a rural kind of farmland area. So there, you know, we get a lot of people in similar walks of life, but, like, this is where I'm at because it's just outside.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, like, I don't live in that area.
Yeah, no. But, like, so we get similar people, but it's still interesting when you get interesting people rolling through with different stories, too. Sometimes, even if they just share, like, one thing from, you know, whether they're talking about their car and then they mention something about their family life or something. And it's just interesting hearing different, like, I don't know, just people's stories. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And
somehow we got onto this.
Yeah.
It was from me. It was my fault. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It was a good tangent. We don't ever really do that on the podcast.
Yeah, we should more.
Yeah, we definitely should. I like it.
So knock knock.
Back to knock knock. Yeah. So, I mean, they also showed a lot more than we thought. They were gonna,
yeah, the nudity and all that.
I will say.
Jesus Christ, man.
Which was interesting. It's kind of funny watching it with you.
Why, Henry? Why? You usually watch it alone on your computer?
Oh yeah, you know
in your
it.
bedroom?
No, it's like I'm glad I didn't watch that with like my parents or something. You know, just one of those really uncomfortable movies.
Yeah.
Where there's a section you're like, well, multiple in this case, and they're just like, okay. But anyway.
Was there multiple? I thought it was just the one sex scene, but there's multiple people in it, I guess.
I mean, there's the one, and then there's the one where he's tied up, and I mean, they don't really show much with it though, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no, you're right. That one. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Would you recommend it to the right audience, maybe?
To the right audience. I don't know. It's okay. It's not amazing. I was kind of hoping for a good movie, but
Yeah, I'd recommend it for older married men. No. Yeah. I don't know. It's like it was okay.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I wish there were some things that I would have changed about this, even just the story.
Mm-hmm. What would you have changed?
I don't know. Just because, like you said, it just feels kind of. I don't know. Like the story's not like
uncomfortable. Kind of.
It is uncomfortable.
Everyone feels uncomfortable to be in the movie, kind of.
Yeah, and it's like, well, like you said, the story's just not like totally original, and I feel like there's things you can do
to make it original.
Because it's like what sets it apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The pedophilia.
Other than some. Yeah. Right. Which was funny because we were like.
It's so obvious they're not
clearly not 15,
younger than 18.
You know.
Yeah. And then at the end, they're like, "Yeah, we're not 18. You idiot! Why did you believe us? Oh,
fucking moron!
Get wrecked!"
And then they fucking killed Louise, man.
Louise, man, they made him a sculpture.
Yeah,
into a sculpture.
But disrespect, dude. Like
disrespecting my boy.
I know. I don't know why he didn't just shut the door when he had the chance and just called the police.
Yeah, he was an idiot. Oh, because it was because he heard them smashing the sculpture.
The sculpture. Yeah.
And then he wanted to go freak out in front of them and die.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted. That's how he wanted to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it for knock knock.
I
guess recommended. It's
to the right person, I guess.
Yeah. Not to your dad.
Not to my dad.
Who has seen it.
Yeah. But yeah.
I guess that's it. Have you seen anything past week?
Trying to think. I have not. Have you?
Freebirds.
Oh yeah, we did watch Freebirds yesterday.
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing because there were parts I missed. But
do you think that the turkey survived?
I watched the ending.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, we watched it without me.
I finished it. Yes.
Wow.
We finished watching it.
Oh, okay.
And then I played a video game for like 4 or 5 hours.
What video game did you play?
Far Lone Souls. It was really good. I would definitely recommend it to you, or if we want to play it on the channel.
Yeah.
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
Or on the PC. It's also on PC as well.
Nice. Very politically correct.
It's a really good game. It's
like you like that?
You're essentially like managing. You're like managing a ship alone in a desolate world. It's really pretty. It's got sweeping landscapes and
hell yeah,
portraits, beautiful sound
and landscapes.
Yep. Yeah, we watched Freebirds. It was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we just had Thanksgiving yesterday.
Yep.
Even though this comes out Monday.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
They'll know. We recorded it beforehand.
I did not watch anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, I guess. For this week.
All right, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next week
on the podcast when we watch another movie. This time, a Christmas movie.
Oh my God!
Yep. We're watching a Christmas movie because we're launching ourselves into the holiday season. Where we got some Christmas episodes coming up, and so for this week's episode, we are watching a movie that for some reason I do not have on my phone right now. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
Pull it up.
There it is. Remember the Night.
Remember the Night. Ooh.
Came out in 1940. It's an older movie. If you can't tell by the fact that it's from 1940.
Remember the Titans.
It's on Peacock right now.
Peacock?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's got Barbara Stanwyck, Fred McMurray,
Beulah Bondi?
Beulah Bondi,
Beulah?
Fred Toons, Tom Kennedy.
This looks good, dude.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It's a rom-com.
It is a rom-com.
You'll like it.
I hope we like it.
You little bitch.
Especially if you like older movies, black and white movies.
I do enjoy them sometimes.
Indeed, in the right settings.
Yeah.
Like His Girl Friday. You know what we should have watched? We should have watched Jack Frost for this season.
I said that when I was picking it. I said
know.
it's a bad movie to pick, but I'm picking it.
I know. That's why I'm just bringing it back up because I was like scrolling through a bunch of Christmas movies and that popped up and I was like, damn,
Should we watch it?
Yeah.
No.
No. We ain't rewatching shit. We ain't doing no sloppy seconds.
Okay.
Yep.
Remember the Night. It's on Peacock.
And don't forget to remember the Titans too, but not for the podcast though. Just watch it if you want to.
Just don't forget to remember the night.
Yes, remember the night.
Remember the night. On Peacock.
Sorry.
Thanks for listening,
Yep.
dude. We're gonna get copyright strike.
Oh, I sing it though, so it's not
No.
the same, right?
Some people. It's either a joke or people have actually been getting copyright striked from people singing it,
Oh,
singing music.
Like I know, obviously, if you play it, that's obviously
Yeah,
a whole.
yeah.
That's clearly just straight up copyright. But
All right.
I can tell it was like just like a
All
parody
right.
version. Anyway,
Thanks for listening.
Yep, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week for Remember the Night,
Episode 68.
episode 68.
That's next week.
Christmas
Not this week.
time, not the Christmas episode, but
And December. Yeah, it's not the Christmas.
a December episode. Yeah. So yeah, all right.
All right, cool.
Well, guys, we'll see you later.
See
And if
ya.
someone comes knocking, make sure to not let them in.
And go on TikToking.
Yep. Dick
Shit.
docking.
Tangled.